Hi everybody, it's me, it's Mariah, it's August. Welcome to Stash Challenge 2026. This video is an update on how things are going in July. So I just want to congratulate everyone who's been participating in the Stash Challenge. We are halfway through the year. July marks halfway through the year. Apparently July 2nd is the halfway point of the whole year. So, yeah, I think even if you've been thinking about trying to at least considering using Stash at this point for your projects, I think you deserve a pat on the back, whether or not you've been able to use that Stash yarn or remembered to update your spreadsheet. That's okay. I was thinking about my process of using my Stash yarn, and it's been over 3 years now, and I'm to the point where I don't really think about too much buying yarn, but looking at what I have first, and it's kind of becoming more of a second nature, and I'm not feeling that sort of FOMO or left out when going to events and things and not necessarily buying yarn. Although this video is out late. Every video seems to be out late. So this video is out when it's supposed to be. Precisely when it means to be. But I was at Flock and this is my first time buying yarn. I bought 2 skeins of yarn only because I didn't have all 4 that I needed for the cardigan I'm going to make. So I'm very excited. I feel pretty good about that. So whatever your goals are, I think if you are even trying to consider your stash, you've been doing it for half a year, congratulations. If you are new here and you're not sure what's going on, every year I host a stash challenge. I do have an orientation video telling you all about that, but we're halfway through the year, and if you still want to join, you are welcome to join and start playing around. I had a couple people who mentioned something and they weren't sure if they should join. I was like, well, you can use the rest of this year as kind of a practice to play around with the spreadsheet, start playing around with your stash. And so now that we're halfway through, so absolutely sign up. I'll send you the link and answer any questions, and it's totally valid to even start now to think about your stash. I've been thinking about plans for the next year, so I will be doing the stash challenge again. Unless so far I enjoy doing it. So far people seem to be enjoying it. So my plan is to continue until there is some reason not to. So yes, there will be a stash challenge 2027. So I'm already starting to think about plans for that for next year. I'm always open to suggestions, and so for the people in my Discord group, I usually ask them for a lot of feedback. So you can join us there. If you have any comments or questions, you can ask them down below. I'll hopefully answer your questions. I do recommend checking out the orientation video if you're not even sure what is going on. But for those of you who have been involved, I'd love to hear what you think. My plans so far for next year, I'm not sure how much is going to change on the spreadsheet itself. I kind of like how it's going, but we'll see what other people say who have been using it. We may tweak some things based on that. I think a lot of my plans actually revolve more around this vlog. I'm having a harder and harder time doing this portion of the videos, so I might tweak some things. The beginning portion of the videos are more for just something to be playing while you're knitting, crocheting, weaving, whatever, working with your stash yarn, to just be relaxing and just give you a moment of peace was my thought. They're the kind of videos that I like to watch sometimes. I know there's a lot of content out there regarding me telling you what I'm making and what I've acquired and what I've finished. And I tried doing that last year, and that was even harder for me. So I don't think that's the sort of thing I want to be doing. So I'm trying to think about, I think I mentioned before, the barriers I have to getting these videos out in a reasonable time, what stresses me out about them, what I enjoy about them, and how to work that out. I'm actually thinking about this portion to be a separate video. So these stash updates, because the point of this part here was to try to update everyone who is participating in the stash challenge who maybe aren't in the Discord group. I try to post the scoreboards on Instagram. I'm terrible about that. So I'm just trying to get to people in different places where they may see the information. So I may consider changing how the video format is done. I'll probably, because I'm a completionist, I like to follow through. I'll probably finish these videos this way for the end of the year and maybe start in the new year. But I'm open to suggestions. So, as far as the stash challenge itself, on how things are going, I'm going to bring up, hopefully there's enough room here. Here's the infographic on our year-to-date stash usage collectively. And as of July, we have successfully surpassed last year's yardage usage. So we have used 73 more skeins of fingering weight yarn than we did in total last year. And we've used 147 more skeins of worsted weight yarn than we did in total last year. So I think that's pretty cool. More people are joining, more yarn is getting used, which I love. Congratulations to everyone. Everyone's contribution has helped us to reach that goal. Here, also good news, our overall stash usage is starting to creep back up very, very slightly. So I think that's very exciting to see those numbers coming back up. More people are starting to use their stash yarn again, or starting to record again, or starting to make again. Maybe they weren't making as much over the summer, so I think that's very exciting. And that leads into our next challenge. So the next challenge it's sweater weather. I know it's, at least for me here in Pennsylvania, it's 85 degrees outside. It does not feel like sweater weather, but I saw a leaf fall, so that means it is time. And now is a great time to get started on those sweater projects, cardigan projects, those warm weather projects. If we start them now, if we're really good and we focus and we're monogamous makers, we might finish a sweater for the fall. This is also the time Andrea Mowry's Rhinebeck sweater has come out. So this is the time people are starting on their Rhinebeck sweater. In case you didn't know, you don't have to knit that sweater to go to Rhinebeck. You don't have to knit a sweater at all to go to Rhinebeck. I'm probably going to be wearing my weekend cami tank top that I should be able to finish by then. But we're in that mindset now. So the challenge now is to use your stash yarn for your sweater weather projects. And that can be whatever you want it to be. And again, these challenges, there's a long range. This is from August 1st to November 1st. So just a long range of time to give you just some motivation, a focus, and inspiration on what to use your stash yarn on. I know I find something like this difficult because having a sweaters quantity in our stash can be difficult. So one thing you might try is find some yarn that you have that you like for a sweater. Maybe you only have a couple of skeins, and then maybe supplementing that yarn, buying more of that same yarn maybe, or looking for something with stripes or some color work. And it's okay if you are purchasing yarn to make a sweater and using some of your stash yarn. Just count that stash yarn. That's totally fine. So that's I think a great way to start using, is at least incorporate what we have into maybe something that we need to buy so we have enough for a garment. And finally, the scoreboard for our heavyweight lifters. We are slowly creeping up, so the numbers aren't changing a whole lot. And just a reminder that The way the spreadsheet works is that if you haven't updated within the past 45 days, at the end of the month, when I update the spreadsheet, your name will not be included in the scoreboard in the whole list, so you won't even get a ranking for that month. Just the way that the coding looks to see when the last time there was an update to your spreadsheet, and if it hasn't been in the past 45 days, it doesn't include you into that ranking. Not as a punishment, just as a suggestion in the past for people who are actively participating right now. But once you update your spreadsheet, you're back in the running. So life happens. It's okay. When you are able to update, join us. You are welcome. And then our scoreboard for our long distance runners. Congratulations, everybody, especially for those who have made it onto the scoreboard. I actually haven't checked. I've been trying to keep track of who has stayed on the scoreboard consistently, and I did not check the current names with the list I have, so I will do that just for fun, because by the end, sometimes we have just a couple of people who made it the whole time. It's quite impressive. Other than that, I hope that you will join us if you have not yet, and I will plan to see you next month.